prawns for days.
As if we're still on the prawn train. This is
Mate,
the third year in a row.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Deep Drop. This is a fishing podcast, and if you are new here or you have been around for a long time, it still might be something you're getting your head around. So we're going to try and break that down for you in a little bit. I'm Luke McCredden. This is Adam Ring. We're back in our hometown. We've been away for a few days, which we're going to get into in a minute. But if you're still a little bit confused about the Deep Drop out there, you've just started following along. You've just joined the community. Welcome, by the way. But Adam, this is your time to please shed some light and give us a bit of an indication on what the hell the Deep Drop is all about.
The Deep Drop is exactly like being out for a long few days, which you and I have both been, Luke. And when you get home and you kick the shoes off for the first time,
yeah,
that's kind of the feeling you get when you hear the Deep Drop jingle at the start of the pod. It just feels like you've kicked the boots off.
I love that.
You're in ultimate relaxation and nothing else matters.
I love that because that's a feeling of I've earned this.
Yep.
You know, I've been on my feet, I've been working, been in the trenches, and now it's just with a kick. And you can kick as hard as you want. You can just sort of push the heel down and just let fly.
Yep.
Or you could slowly go and unlace them bad boys and just enjoy the moment. Because
however you prefer to take those shoes off. The fresh, crisp air of Melbourne, Victoria hits those socks, because we're not at socks off territory yet. We're still a little bit cool nights, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
The feeling of just I'm home.
Yeah, good.
I'm relaxed.
So there you go. So if you're just jumping on the Deep Drop, just envisage that. You know, and if maybe you can do it simultaneously.
I encourage you, kick them off. Just sit back in the chair, crack a cold one, and enjoy.
All right, I'm going to do that right now.
Me too. Cheers.
Cheers. Good to be back. Good to be back on home soil. We visited sunny Queensland. Ad's a little bit flat. Was a bit cold, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Probably pretty similar sort of situation to what was happening in Victoria with a little bit less rain. But that's okay.
Nevertheless, it was probably a bit more sunshine down here, but it wasn't as warm as I was hoping for. We, Adam, of course, visited. Can't even speak. It's been a long week.
Big recovery.
The AFTA 2026 fishing tackle trade show, as we do each and every year. First year in Brisbane, usually on the Goldie.
Yep.
What's your take on that, real quick? Just question without notice.
Show fine. Everything else, bring back the Goldie.
Goldie's a good spot.
Goldie's the best spot.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Brizzy as a whole, but it's just sort of...
Oh.
Okay. Well, we need to get... I mean, the Gold Coast, we're very comfortable. You know what I mean?
Familiar.
We're very familiar. We know exactly where to walk after each trade day.
Well, it's the first time for as long as you and I have been going to AFTA, not in its entirety, but for as long as you and I have been going.
Yeah.
First time not on the Gold Coast.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
So we don't know anything but the Gold Coast.
Wow, we were really
and I missed
out
it
of
already.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed the loose moose. I missed the going for walks on the beach. I missed Yochi.
Yochi?
The yoga, the soft serve, the yoga joint. Soft serve.
Oh
yeah, Jesus.
I missed that.
The Cass.
Is it Valentino's?
Valentino's,
the Italian restaurant.
You get a shot when you come in. You know, he brings them out on the trays. Don't know what it is.
It doesn't matter.
Can never remember the rest of the night. But
it doesn't matter.
The Cass, from all reports.
Yeah, the Cass.
The Goldie's got Brizzy covered.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's okay. We'll find out.
The trade show itself on par, if not better.
And we're going to get into some detail in a minute. I've got some questions for you. I've got some observations myself that I want to bring to the table. We obviously want to fill the community, and there was a lot of social media, I suppose, buzz happening over the course of the 3 days, the trade and the public day. So we'll get into that in a second. Speaking of socials, make sure, if you haven't already, you're getting around the Deep Drop on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. Give it a follow, give it a subscribe, whatever you need to do. And And just fire it up. Just start sharing it around. Find something you like. Let us know. We'll give you more. You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and get involved. And there's no safer place than the Deep Drop socials. And what I mean by that is, say whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want. And it's a safe space. So if you've got an idea, we recently opened the community chest, and we are filling the community chest, by the way. So please.
We're building episodes with the community chest.
We are. It's going to be, that's right. So please get involved. Let us know anything that is on your mind. If there's anything that you want to hear Adam and I put our spin on, or anything, just anything.
Just write it down.
Write it down and flick it through. The community chest is about to be crowbarred firmly open, and just our hands are diving in and grabbing some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Love it.
So all the socials, of course, you can also get across to the deepdrop.au, Adam, which is, I suppose, where the episodes are housed and the bloody, descriptions of everything going on. And, of course, you can grab yourself one of the new Deep Drop tees, which are sick, by the way.
Father's Day is coming,
mate,
and it's coming quick.
Yeah, so bloody getting quick, real quick.
Just start clicking yes.
Yeah. Nice beige or black options.
Or both.
And both. Go hard. Why not? Yeah. Oversized box fit tee, the Deep Drop, subtle. You wear it anywhere you want. It's not one of those loud sort of outrageous fishing
premium
shirts.
Material, premium finish, 1%ers. It's a 1%ers tee.
Ran into a few people at AFTA that had just purchased them and said, love the tee.
Solid.
That's all they needed to say. I said, point taken, noted, thank you. So that was good. So yes, so grab yourself one of the tees and get involved in the socials and the community chest. And we're rampant. Fuck, we're close to 200 ads.
I know.
We're so
close. We're proper eyeing it.
Yeah. Oh, we can see it.
Though we can't really reference it to cricket, because I don't think either team hit a combined score of 200.
I know. I know. Let's not even go there.
Deep Drop for the win.
But we're proper in that sort of, I guess, bracket of runs now where it could get wobbly. You don't think about it. Don't think about that big number with three numbers in it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just keep an eye on the ball, play your shots, and it'll come. You know what I mean? You could just, mate, you could push around singles. I mean, we won't. We'll try and hit a four.
I was going to say, you could push around for a single and play it safe, or you could just try and hit out of the park and go for glory. Let's take the glory.
And I'm glad you want to take the glory route, because again, massive shout out to our good friend Andy Hughes. And we're going to start referencing Andy a lot on the podcast, because he just comes out with some belters. And I play golf with Andy a bit. You've had some sessions on the beers with Andy. Andy, when we play golf, we often say we could and should lay up here, but we won't.
We won't.
We won't. So we go for glory.
Will we lose balls? Dunk this year.
Yep. You know. So let's go for glory on our road to 200.
Why not?
Why not? Adam, we had a big few days, and I think we briefly spoke on the phone in our 2.1 seconds of prep for the show, and I think we're both sounding pretty fatigued.
To give you an idea, to those playing along at home, Luke and I were in exactly the same place at exactly the same time for 3 days straight, and I think we might have seen each other for about half an hour.
Yeah, in total.
And that includes after hours activities.
It does. Yeah, we did get a chance to. We broke away at one stage. We said, "Let's go."
We did.
We were at this big gala dinner event with 530 people, or whatever they said, and the proceedings wrapped up, and it was a bit of mingling time. I thought, beauty, I'm on a table 48 or something, and you're on table 10, but I knew that, and I went over and I grabbed you, and you're like, "Let's go over here so we can at least just have a talk." We didn't talk.
Last long.
No. But that's the beauty.
That's the beauty of it.
It is good. We get to run into everyone and chat to everyone, and it is the best industry, I think, going around in that space, and there's some amazing people within it. Also with that, it's also a very exciting time, Adam, because new products launch, and we've spoken about a little bit over the last couple of weeks what we're looking forward to, what we hoping to see and expect and that sort of stuff. And mate, it was a really good show for reasons I might not have necessarily thought going into it. Now, I think it's not necessarily secret anymore what gets launched at AFTA. We're in a different world now where a lot of stuff gets seen well and truly before trade shows and trade events and stuff like that, which is fine. But what I like to see, and you touched on, I think it was last week, was kind of the themes that come out of these shows. And for me, there were a couple that really stood out, but there were also, and I'm going to get into this in a sec, there were also a couple of themes that didn't seem to be there at all, which was interesting.
I would have put my left agate on a couple of... I thought this was all going to be fly jigs. It wasn't. I was wrong. And then if I had to put the right agate on something too, it would have been those dice urchin baits. There was a couple.
There was a couple. Not really.
The only for two.
The only thing with those urchin baits, I wasn't expecting too many, only because I think it took everyone a little bit by surprise, even at ICAST, which was it was only a month ago. So to sort of be able to bring them and even show them, let alone be in a position to actually go to market with them, I didn't think that was really going to happen. I think our old mate Billy Klassen might have had some ads. I saw a couple floating around. But
Spin Right had one that had just landed. I don't know. It wasn't what I was expecting. Now, that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just what I thought was going to happen didn't quite eventuate.
Can I take you on a journey of what I think was hot, as far as not necessarily, like, I'm not saying this was the best product, what themes were up and about, and then a couple,
I'm going to need you for this,
and then a couple that were not so much up and about that I thought maybe would have been a bit more up and about, if that makes sense.
Please, let's talk this through, because I saw the two walls of the same stand for 3 days. And listen, it was awesome, and we had some cool shit. Yeah. But what was going on around the traps? Talk to me, because I didn't get a good feel for anything, which is strange in itself.
No, and you don't, because like you said, and just a heads up, we're going to talk Public Day a little bit later in the show, and that is, I just want to pick. When we get there, I want you to set the scene, because you were a tunnel to madness at one point. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to get into that. Okay, so my overall take was, and listen, I probably have the blinkers on a little bit. Lures is my thing. Quite literally, my sort of what I have to look after, but also what I love. It was a lure heavy show.
Correct.
So it was already ticking boxes for me.
Yep.
I loved all of it. So that is a very overarching thing that I really lent into. Prawns for days.
Really? As if we're still on the prawn train. This is the third year in a row.
Yeah. Prawns for days. Now, there is no excuse anymore for anyone going, not sure if I've got the right prawn or not sure what prawn it. There are fucking prawns coming out of prawns. And I don't mind it. Listen, the reality is, let's be real here. You and I are from Victoria, and we've had episodes talking about, prawn lures aren't a big thing down here. Doesn't matter, because
they
in
must
Queensland,
be fucking big somewhere.
They are everything.
3 years in a row.
Yeah. So we the big brands have the prawns, the soft prawns, like obviously Crush City, Z-Man, Irukandji with those big fucking giant mega prawns and all that sort of thing, which was cool. And what I love is that I think there are, they would have to be, and you could probably attest to this a little bit, they would have to be the hardest thing to actually get right or manufacture. And when you look around now, you go, people are putting in time getting this shit right.
Well, this is funny, and
which is great.
It could be a reason why it's still going for the third year in a row, because every year someone releases a take on a prawn, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the most realistic, like as in the most realistic looking, just subtle things with action, size, and every year it's like there's this full one-up in play for every prawn. And if you can't go the most realistic, just go the fucking biggest. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
It's interesting, but you're right. Third year in a row, and
Well, it's a really good
are still
mix.
marching around the joint.
Yeah, and it's a really good mix, and we won't get hung up on prawns, but it's a really good mix, though, I reckon, because there are some real ultra realistic looking prawns on the market. But then there's some that, to the naked eye, you go, Jesus, they're plain looking. But this is where the tanks at the stands come into play big time.
Yeah.
Because you get them bad boys in the tanks and you go, fuck, those legs are everything.
Yeah.
You know, so this is what I mean. I don't think people are just paying for a prawn mold and going, that'll do anymore. It doesn't cut it because people are now dialed in. Anglers, us, recreational anglers are dialed into these things need to work. It can't just be a prawn. It's got to be lifelike in the water or just colorways that look unbelievable.
Yep.
So
You're 100% right.
So on top of that, I suppose the other thing I would say is soft plastics are still dominating the lure market.
Yep.
And what I mean by that is the width of ranges across all the biggest brands in market, as I said before, whether it's, Gulp, Z-Man, Crush City, Bait Junkie, they're getting wider, the ranges, and so they should because, with success comes opportunity to innovate more and add to range and that sort of thing. They still, if you weight it up, by facing or by wall, they're just bigger than anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it's great. I think they're still the best option for anglers of absolutely all levels, whether you're just getting into it, chuck on a paddle tail or a prawn or something and you work it out. Or if you are a one percenter, mate, you'll be that dialed in on that one tail you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like there'll be someone who'll be a one percenter and you go, oh, so you must use a heap of different plastics. And they'll be like, nah, it's got to be the imposter. Or you know what I mean? It's just like they're just so dialed in. I just think soft plastics are king and prawns are, driving that a lot. I'm going to make a statement and I want your thoughts and feedback on it. And it might be, I'll explain it. I think hards are back. Now, what I mean by that is, did they ever go away? No, of course they didn't. Hard body lures, they're always been around. I think we're getting back into a space where, by the way, this is just my take, so don't.
No, I'm all ears. I'm all ears because I agree. I think we're in a massive soft plastics boom at the moment.
Yeah, but I think hard bodies are getting to the point now where brands and wholesalers are understanding that. We all know how great hard body lures are as just to fish with for particular species and whatever. There's been this slow, I guess, like incline of focusing on, high end and high price point, and almost getting to the point where a lot of hard body lures are almost out of reach from, I suppose, beginner or entry level or weekend anglers because we're talking, I don't know, plus $30 price points and stuff in some cases.
Yep.
What I've seen and what I'm think I'm seeing is maybe a bit of a trend coming back toward a sub 20, maybe that in between 15, 16 to 20, 22 price point in a hard body lure range, which I think personally is a great price point. It can get everyone involved in it and you could. But with that, the quality's getting better for that price point, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know that went a bit round in circles, but do you know what I'm getting at? I think we're going to see some ranges, like we've seen some getting launched at after this year. I think we'll see a few more over the next couple of years that'll probably be more targeted to the price point or the consumer that is wanting that lure, if that makes sense.
So do you think that's what starts to bring on the next hard body revolution? So the fishing industry's always gone in these ebbs and flows of what's hot and what's not. And listen, before the soft plastics revolution that we're in now, which isn't the first time this has happened, but we're in it right now. The whole industry was dominated by hard bodies. It was probably led by the big swim baits. And you're right, they were $70, $80, $100 a bait, some of which were coming with no hooks on them. So it was a big deal. Do you think this is what starts to steer it back in the right direction. If the thing that leads hard bodies this time is not necessarily these high-priced, gorgeous baits from, say, Japan or overseas, we actually come back to dialing in what $18 to $22 gets you as far as both performance, affordability, and look gets you these days.
Yep, I do. I think it's got to. I think with any of these tackle trends or any trend in sort of the retail environment it takes one or two to go to start those trends or to give it a bit of a nudge and identify, and arguably and it wouldn't be one, but wherever that trend starts from, it could be a risk, because it's like, well, I'm going against the grain a little bit here, but I think this is where it needs to go, and I think what I saw is the right direction for this, because we love hard body lures, whether it's trout fishing, light estuary tackle for bream and flathead, or barra, jacks, that sort of stuff, cod, even the natives, the cod and the yellows and that sort of thing. But I think there's I think the biggest one is the high volume stuff in estuary. Yeah. You know what I mean? So whether it's, like I said, bream, flathead, I think we're seeing potentially a bit of a shift back towards that more affordable price point for good quality gear. That's my summary of that hard body space. Also, did see a couple of things that I didn't spend enough time on because we were just getting pulled from pillar to post, but I want you to talk me through, if you can, and I'm going to take a stab here. The Rapala long cast, which we all know and love, have just released a timber version?
Yes, Longcast Elite.
Longcast Elite, which is in line with the Elite range in other models, right?
Yep.
So it's the balsa. Yeah,
yep.
That looked pretty damn sexy. I was actually on the stand when Mickey Horn gave us a rundown. I think I turned around after it and saw Worsling there drooling, and he's like, Luke, seriously. I'm like, I know. So is that right? Is that what it is? It's a balsa version of the traditional, or what we know now as the long cast range?
It is, because we're trying to do something similar to what you spoke about. Now, because typically speaking, when you see timber lures, and there's a few different materials, a few different versions of timber that they use in different baits, depending what they're trying to achieve. But generally, if you see a timber bait, they're custom. They're one-off, super expensive hooks. Now, listen, these long cast elites, they're not cheap. They're not entry-level stuff, but they're not $100 a lure.
Right.
We're trying to bring that, the positives that come with wood, natural product, whether that's sound created underwater, whether that's getting mucking around with buoyancy and what that does to lures.
Yep.
We're trying to bridge that gap between what's commercially available in a wooden lure, and you get all the benefits of wood with those specific lures without having to spend $100 on one, and then having to outfit them with whatever terminal you want for what you want to use it for. So, yeah, the Longcast Elite is the latest to the Elite range. Nice.
It looked really, really nice. Probably going to buy too many and not use them, but I'll definitely.
Well, it's interesting because we talk trends and bits and pieces, and I didn't get to look around a hell of a lot. But one thing I have been talking about amongst my peers at Rapala is a little bit of blue water game fishing. Is that market due for a proper reshape?
I'm interested in you elaborating on that a little bit. I had a note. I had a few things here that I thought were quiet and I didn't see much of from after this year. And one of them, to kick off with, is skirts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that it is not a huge category or as big a category as it once was. But I was surprised to see little to not many in terms of new or I saw Black Magic had a couple of new shout out Jonah, couple of new Jonah's Konas,
yes,
just big
saw that.
fucking same but just giant.
Yeah.
And my first reaction was, well, fuck off, Jonah. Not everyone can catch as many big fish as you, which he got a kick out of. But I get it. Makes sense, right? So I think it's like a 10-inch version of the current Jonas Kona. But I don't know. I guess maybe it's just because we're kind of used to drilled in just to seeing a few new skirt ranges or bits and pieces here and there. I can't really recall seeing too much at all.
Well, the reason I say are we due is we have a look about what's happening. I guess in the last couple of years, we've seen the yellowfin return in beautiful numbers along the south coast of New South Wales. We had one of the best striped marlin seasons that we've had on record in the last 12 months. Obviously, you've got these giant marlin seasons up out of Cairns and Port Douglas, places like that. We've got Curtis Waterman talking about a big blue marlin fishery out in Western Australia. I feel as though game fishing has kind of been quietly bubbling away in the background for a few years. Are we ready? Like, is it time? And what kicks it off, do you think? Do you think it's a lure? Do you think there'll be a rod or a reel that comes out? Or what changes it?
It's kind of hard because I hate saying this because I love new anything. But we've kind of got it. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's it going to be? There's been some of the most epic game fishing rods being developed over the last couple of years that are in market already. There's reels out there that how do you get better than a Talic or a? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I've got some ideas.
Yeah. Well, CI4. Obviously, CI4 Tiagras. We know that.
Yeah. I've got some ideas because I think there's some things happening in which give it a leg up. So we've got yellowfin tuna the last 2 seasons, or this season and the season before, that there's more people throwing stick baits than there is doing anything else.
Yes.
Is there going to be a lure that isn't from a small independent lure maker or manufacturer that's going to sort of bring that market to the masses, if it makes sense?
Mate, there has to be. It's crazy if there's not. And I have no say in what gets developed by some of the big brands, but I'm a little bit perplexed as to why we haven't seen a skirt range out of some of the biggest guys. If you know you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah,
it blows my mind.
Definitely. But I think I've got the answer on what changes everything.
Please.
We're starting to see in the casting market in lighter tackle, barramundi, Murray cod mainly, there is a little swing going towards the old higher profile drum style bait casters.
Yes.
Do you know what I think we need?
What?
What's the Saragossa of overhead reels? So we've had things like Tiernosses, TLDs, Pen Squalls. We've had some Akuma Solterra. We've had these mid-range trolling reels that don't feel like they've got any love for years and years.
So true. It's so true.
If we got a $400 to $500 brand new trolling overhead that people really go nuts for. Well, with Speedmaster's probably the last one we saw. But
what did it? Because I think I'd never thought about it. I think Tiernos was the Saragossa of overhead when you think back about it.
Yeah, it was,
wasn't it? But it never got love.
Never got love. No, it never hit because it was still outsold by large by TLDs. Exactly right. We need something to ignite this influx of new game fishermen. Because it's an expensive sport to begin with fuel and gear and all that. But we're missing that little sexy bit of tackle that people go, far out, I need 4 of them.
Because respectfully, and I absolutely mean this respectfully, because Adam, we literally grew up when we were young on TLDs. Mm-hmm. That is what our age bracket grew up with when we were teenagers.
Yep.
I fucking used one for a jigging reel before I, discuss. Yeah, I know.
You were slow fast jigging.
But no wonder my shoulders and back are fucked. But they're on the way out.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a modern, or a modern TLD or version of and it doesn't even have to be that brand, but like, you know what I mean. So to your point, great call.
Because even in that,
but then could you just argue, just use spin, just use a Saragossa?
But spin is not cool anymore. We've seen spin. We've seen spin clocked. You've got the juggernauts, like, I don't know, whether it's Daiwa BG and Saltist, whether it's again, Saragossa probably rules them all. We've had these brand new over the years Pen Slammers. That it's been done. Everybody has clocked it. You can go in and buy a spin reel for $400 to $500. It is the greatest reel that you'll ever use in your life.
Would you be offended if there was, because there's never a spin and overhead family with the same name? When you think about it, never.
No.
Would you be offended if you saw hit the market next year? I'm just making this up. The Saragossa overhead range.
No, it would.
You'd buy 4. You'd buy a set.
It would start.
And you don't even have a boat.
No.
No, but my point is...
That's actually a great thought exercise. Would that work? Do we pigeonhole, say something like Saragossa to spin only, or if they were to release two sizes in overhead called a Saragossa, and say it was a 20 and a 30 size. We're talking about manageable game fishing gear for maybe guys that are just getting into it. So strapping them in on 50 wides and 80s straight up is unfair and unrealistic.
That's not it. No. Yeah.
And 30 size reels these days are so freaking good. You're not getting spoiled on the yellowfin and striped marlin that are going on, out from Burmie and the south coast of New South Wales for the last couple of seasons. I actually don't mind it.
I have this thought that, and again, I might be completely off track, but I think there's an argument to say that anglers love this sort of stuff. I've always had this thought that there should be, and let's use that as an example, and we're just picking that because it's an example. Saragossa should be a Saragossa reel, should be a Saragossa rod, there should be Saragossa line, and potentially even leader. I think you would find people would match it all up.
You reckon?
Because it's all got the same name. To a degree, I do believe that. Now, I know the line thing's a bit extreme, but you think about there's now Tiagra line.
Yep.
It's Tiagra rods. I reckon a lot of people have that full set because it makes, they want it all on.
And it's got the legacy of the name Tiagra. It's premium.
But it's also like people don't love matching a Shimano rod with a Daiwa reel.
Yes. Yeah,
or you know what I mean? So there's the brand thing, but then if you put brand families within that, I feel like there's that synergy there of our range that people go, well, fuck, I'm buying 2 of these reels. I'm going to need 2 of them rods. I don't know. That's just, I've always thought, maybe it's a bit of a...
No, it's very interesting because it seems to work for some, but not for others.
Some. Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a risk, but anyway. Yeah, interesting. But so maybe it's a great sort of summary, I suppose, of that game market. So we almost need to modernise the TLD.
Yep, it needs to be a reel, and I think it needs to sit in that $400 to $500 price point. So essentially, you're half the price of what you're paying for the big dogs, like like the Tiagras and the Saltigas and Penn Internationals and Macairas and things like that. I think it could change it.
So a couple of other things just that I noticed were quietish, and it kind of makes sense, this next one. Metal jigs.
Yeah, I kind of feel as though the industry kind of done with jigging for now.
Got heaps, yeah. The one thing that I would say was there were a few, not stacks, but a few new micro jigs to range. Now I'm talking 5, 7, 10 gram, so proper micro.
Yep.
So that was good. But yeah, overall metal, listen, absolutely no doubt that the WA demersal ban has had a major impact on why would I develop something that I can't use. So that makes perfect sense as well. So, yeah, I think that was quite... The one that I was a little bit surprised at, to a degree, I know there's plenty in the market, but with the absolute beast that is squid fishing at the moment, and when I say at the moment, it has been for a long time, but it is absolutely peaking around the country at the minute. Not a great deal in the way of new in squid.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's needed. I think we're good. I think there's some amazing products in market already in ranges, and we'll see new naturally every few years as just new ranges rolling out. But I don't think there was anything, if that makes sense.
I don't hate it for one little thing. I think
I'm okay with it too, but it was a surprise.
I think we need a couple of lean years on some certain things so that when it happens, we get that, oh shit, yeah, like squid jigs are mad, or you know what I mean? Because I think I think there's something in that. Not that you would plan to have this couple of year blackout in a certain category, but I feel as though squid fishing in itself in Victoria, and I would like to think we could argue that we're the home of calamari fishing. With all due respect to South Australia, Western Australia, parts of New South Wales, and Sydney.
I reckon we're getting pushed. I reckon we're getting pushed by WA.
Really? They're
joint
so
is
fucking
pumping.
far away. They may as well be overseas.
Yeah. When you do get your passport renewed and go over their ads,
if you have to change time zone, it's too far.
Well, you have to do that everywhere pretty much. Anyway, but Tassie is firing again. Like it's just a quiet achiever on calamari down south. You know, the Sydney squid market, like the small 1.5, 1.8 jigs. You know, they're just... It's going off. But it was, and I agree with you. I don't think there needs to be everything at every show because it'd
just get a bit too much.
Yeah. So I think it was a good mix. I'm going to leave you with two more things, takeouts from me before we throw to an ad because I want to get into AFTA awards and then I want to talk to you about the public day because I bailed out of there. Two things non-lure related to finish off this little segment. Dude, did you see the pelagic gear?
I didn't get across there. I didn't, but
so
I saw a fair few rockin' pelagic on the public day.
Yeah, there was a fairly full suite of pelagic apparel set up, and obviously we have that affiliation ads. You'll hear it in the ad mid show, all that. But I got to say, every time I walked past it and saw people looking at it, it was just like. There were people just in that, oh, shit, this is good. The quality is second to none.
It's going to cost me.
Second to none.
It's going to cost me money.
Well, it probably would have cost you more if you did go and spend some time looking at it. So you might have done yourself a favour. The other one, just finally, and obviously the big, I suppose the shiny and the stuff that everyone wants to check out, rods and reels. Awesome, huge ranges from everyone that does rods and reels. Kind of BAU in a way, and not in a bad way. There wasn't one thing that blew the socks off everyone this year, if that made sense. There was some really great product, and you know what? And it sounds a bit of a cliche, but everyone played well. You know what I mean? It was one of those ones.
Yeah.
Really good showing. Obviously, all the major brands, the Daiwa, Shimano stands were packed full of that's their bread and butter, right?
Yep.
And it's not getting any worse. Let's be honest. The technology in rods and reels is just it's so good. So it was great to see. But again, I don't think there was. Yeah, there were a couple of, I suppose, bait cast reels or you know that were they're just getting so nice, mate. They're just getting so nice. I
feel as though bait casters are massively in at the moment.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. So I feel like there was that, but it was probably not the one thing that went, holy shit, have you gone over and seen that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, so that was good. So it was a good sort of, I think it was a good all-rounder this year. I think it was still lure heavy, which is absolutely
awesome.
fine by me. Yeah, fine by everyone. And, you know, some things that were just pumping, like soft plastics, prawns, a few really nice hard body ranges, and then some quieter things like metals and squid jigs and skirts. But good show all round for me. I liked it. I had fun. lots of lures to play. As long as there's lots of lures, mate, I'm awake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a tiring event. Looking for your next fishing weapon? Bar Crusher is Australia's #1 fishing boat builder, leading the industry in design, excellence and quality. For the most advanced plate aluminium fishing boats, or to build your dream boat online, visit barcrusher.com.au. Pelagic high-performance offshore gear is built for fishing, offering the best in technical apparel, premium polarised optics, and ocean-inspired accessories. Using the latest fabrics and feedback from top anglers around the world, Pelagic products deliver comfort, style, and sun protection for those long days on the water. Visit au.pelagicgear.com to see the full range.
Luke, one of the highlights of AFTA every year is the awards show. There's a little bit of a gala night situation where there's a few presentations done. And
it's a piss up, that's
pretty much, and that's why I say it's one of the best. Listen, it's free piss for 3 hours. The whole industry's there, and we sit through a lovely meal and a few speeches, basically waiting for the open bar, and I catch up with everyone. But in between all of getting there and catching up at the end, there's a heap of awards voted on by the shops, the representatives of the retail shops that attend AFTA. They can run into a little locked away booth. None of the wholesalers are allowed to vote.
I got there as
purely a consumer thing.
As a retailer, I got there and I said to the crew I was with, let's go do that now. So doors open at 8:30.
Yep.
We were in there at, I don't know, 8:45. It was close to 9. So we just did a quick walk. So let's go do that now. Then it's done and I'll go to the thing. An old mate, and respectfully, I don't know who he was, but he was the guy, and he said, no, you can't come in here till 9. I said, mate, that stage was about 5 to 9. I said, mate, the show's open. He goes, no, you can't vote till 9. Jesus.
But you can't vote twice.
You can't
so
vote
what
till
does it
9.
matter?
What does it matter? Anyway, sorry, that was just a... people take their jobs really seriously. Just relax. Just relax, champion. Anyway, so it was a booth
So
off at the back of the
you
show.
got
So
in
at
there.
9:01, I was already bored and moved on and didn't even... No, I did. So there's best in show. So all the fishing tackle categories. Rods, reels, lures, hard, soft, all that. So
Literally everything.
everything. And listen, we'll go through a few of those now, ads. But there was it was a fairly dominated by Shimano this year, wasn't it?
Listen, every second award was won by
Yeah.
huge year. And shout out to the crew at Shimano. They've obviously put in a lot of work, and they've done really well. But listen, there's a million categories.
Yeah, and a million products. Like, holy shit,
And it's nuts. So I encourage everyone that's interested, head on over to afta.net.au. You will be able to see the list of all of the winners, everything from retailer to stands to the whole kit and caboodle.
We'll put, I'll tell you what, we'll put a link in our stories on Instagram, on the gram.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
And check them out because there's so much good product, and we've already used up 45 minutes of the show.
Take us through some of the products, Adam.
Let's go. Let's go. In order of what I saw them do in the 15 seconds of prep before the show on the AFTA website. Yeah, I went hard tonight. Best rod. So for each category, there was a runner-up named and a winner.
Mm-hmm.
This would have to be one of the first years, I reckon, that the top two top two didn't feature any of the majors. Shimano, Daiwa,
Yes, good call.
Penn, Abu,
True.
didn't feature.
No.
Very interesting. So runners-up in best rod category was an Ocean's Legacy Aggressor, which I'm not really across it. It looks like some sort of casting blue water stick baity type of rod. Now, Ocean's Legacy, one of the faster growing small to mid.
Yeah.
distributors in this game doing
Absolutely.
a great job.
WA based and doing quite well. So it's kind of I think a shore based, quite a heavy sort of a stick, that particular rod.
Best in show for best rod was taken out this year by Locks, and the rod is called a Vibe Traveller.
Yep.
And it's telescopic.
Yes.
Luke. A nice, good quality telescopic rod. I don't think I've ever seen one in my near 20 years. I'm talking like a good one, like one that you would actually want to use.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love the fact that Locks is a great rod. Locks is a great rod brand, and anyone who's used Locks rods will know the quality that they are. I just think the most fascinating part of this, as you said, is the fact that it's telescopic. I don't think it's the fact that it's a Locks rod. I mean, they're a very, very good stick. I love it. I think it's thrown a spanner in the works. Clearly, the retailers loved it. They're the ones, the retailers voted, and awesome work. And the team at Viva take their rod building. It's one of the many things that the crew at Viva are very, very good at, and that is the rod development and rod building. Awesome.
Rewarded and recognised for their
Yep.
Telescopic rod. So well played there to Locks. Best reel.
Yeah. This is almost like the gold Logie, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's the one we're all like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sampang didn't win this, by the way, just a FYI.
Shock. Huge shock
Yeah.
to everyone that attended. But again, another theme. And I've actually, based on this theme, I have written down something that I think you and I need to workshop in a future episode.
Okay.
Runner-up was a little bait caster from Abu Garcia as they've entered the little computer-chipped bait
DC
caster
space, yep.
But the winner was a Shimano Calcutta Conquest DC.
Yeah.
Technology's taking over our fishing reels, Luke.
Dude, there's a lot of words and letters and numbers in the title of that reel. But I'll tell you what, this is the one that I kind of referred to before, that when you do walk past it, you're kind of drawn to it and have to pick it up. I don't know why. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just like,
It looks rare.
Yeah, it does. Actually,
doesn't
it? It's like you're at a museum and there's the cabinet with the rare gem in it from the middle of, you sort of go, I got to touch that.
Shit, yeah, right.
It's unbelievable reel.
Oh, stupid.
Yeah.
Like stupid. But both bait casters, featuring some sort of, for lack of better words and descriptions, DC technology.
Yep.
Cast control.
You
chips
spoke
that
about this last
controlling.
week. You wanted to know whether this would be a thing. Now, did it take over the show? I don't think so.
I don't think
but
so.
It certainly is a focus of retailers and tackle stores all over the country.
Yep, and it's being led at the moment by Shimano.
I went to school with him.
Timo Shimano. Shimano and Abu Garcia at the moment. So I think that's going to be a hotly contested category over the next few years. But yeah, DC reels. Computers are taking over everything.
Everything. Hey, let's get into lures.
Okay. Best soft lure, Luke.
Yes.
We
Take
got
it
the
away.
fucking 4-peat, baby. We got the
away.
4-peat 4 years in a row.
This is bigger than the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. They couldn't pull that off.
No,
No,
mate.
Three-peat.
Jordan, who?
So talk us through the Crush City Infiltrator.
Infiltrator. I think out of the entire Crush City lineup that is now 4.5 years old,
Yeah.
this is the most striking and aesthetically pleasing soft plastic on the market. Easily. You look at it and you go, that's cool.
Well, my take on when I first looked at it was like, I need to know more about this. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a bit going on.
There is a bit going on. So it's a soft plastic swim bait that behaves like a jointed swim bait, but it actually doesn't have any joins.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a bit going on.
It also has a bib.
There's a bib, a soft plastic bib.
And it also has a little bib on the back.
Yes.
And a fork tail, which is interesting.
Rare.
this day and age for a swim bait.
Rare.
Rare.
And I think that, like I said before, I think the beauty of trade shows now is everyone's got a tank on their stand, so you can walk past and go, that looks kind of cool, but what does it do? You go, watch this.
Watch. And the beauty of the Infiltrator as well, we had it rigged in multiple different ways and in multiple configurations so that you're completely in charge with how you want to fish it. Mate, I'm pumped with this thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen to get my hands on it. I've got a question for you on that, and I think it's a question for another show, but I want to raise it really quickly. Do you think to be a real player in the soft plastic market now, especially in bigger, slightly bigger, so what's the Infiltrator, 5-inch?
3 and 5 inch.
3 and 5 inch. There almost needs to be multiple ways to rig it. You know what I mean? Like it's
versatility is becoming a massive
versatility.
thing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Because we want to fish these cool lures for all of our favourite species.
Yep.
So huge shout out to Mick Horn. The amount of work put into this thing to get it to a point where it not only can be incredibly versatile, but it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't look too funky, but it looks funky enough that you just want one.
Oh, absolutely. He's passionate, Mickey. I spoke to him and congratulated him on the one of his designs winning Best in Show at ICAST in the States. And he said, he quickly said, I don't know if it was them or Canada or something, are trying to claim that they designed it. So there's already this competitiveness. I'm like, mate, don't worry about it.
They didn't.
I said, mate, you've got it. It's all you. So this is another cracker. So very, very cool looking soft plastic, that's for sure.
And so 4 years in a row, Crush City has taken out Best Soft Lure, and shout out to Wilson, who had runners-up with their Hot Legs prawn.
Yes,
so
prawns. There you go, see?
In a massive release year for prawns again, Wilson technically had the best prawn, as it was runners-up in Best Soft Lure.
Yeah.
So shout out to them. Best Hard Lure, which is, I think, is going to be a huge, growing category over the next few years. Runners up, Molossi. You can talk me through this, Luke. You know about these little beauties, but there's a micro Rogue. Now, was Rogue one of their bigger topwater
Rogue?
So
Rogue was part of the... I'm just actually looking... Yeah, so it was the Micro 55. So Rogue was part of their original launch in the Staples range, which launched in around November, December last year, in 100 and 120 sort of mil sizes. So slightly bigger, but it's a sinking stick bait. It's got a one of those unique sort of flutters to it once it does hit the water if you let it sink for a bit. But upon retrieval, and you can literally do anything with these things and work that rod tip however you like, and this thing swims so fucking nice. It's so good. I have used these a lot and used them, was lucky enough to use a few of them before they hit market, as in the original Rogues. And, you know, on things like all sorts of stuff. But the beauty of the Rogue, it's a very, very, very versatile one. They're perfect for a tailor or a salmon, or something as, you know, like a mangrove jack or a big GT or a tuna or whatever it is. Equally, we managed to... I fished with the Molossi boys late last year up on the Tiwi Islands, and we managed to get barra on these, which was really cool. And Nico basically just exclusively used it, said, I want to get a barra on one. And then, mate, as soon as you start chucking them around for Queenies and Trevally, they're just all over them. So the 55 Micro Rogue is new to the range, and as the name suggests, 55 mil. So small, it becomes part of the Micro series of Molossi hard bodies, and there is also a 75. This 55 I reckon you'll be... I want to have a crack at these on things like brim and perch. They're very unique. So anyway, I digress. Very good looking lure. Shout out Molossi.
Shout out to John and Nico, because that's probably the most pumped up runners up lure we've had in quite a while.
Sorry. Sorry. I'm excited for it.
So shout out to the boys.
And you may laugh, but when you see these things yourself, Ads, you're going to just open your wallet.
And the winner of Best Hard Lure, which I think is still sneaky one of the biggest growing categories to hard bodies at the moment. But Samaki released a swim bait called a Swimic under their Reddick sub-brand of hard bodies. Swim baits are coming hard for the mantle of everything, I think.
Yeah. So it's crazy. I don't feel like it was that long ago when you and I were kind of talking about, what's happening with them? Are they kind of disappearing off the face of the earth? I've woken up and they're just everything again.
Yeah, because I think they're now starting to develop them smaller. We first pretty well exclusively saw them for cod and barra,
Big stuff.
mainly in the cod scene, but now they're making them 100 mil, like 100, 110s, 80s, 75s, even down to little like 50 mil glides and bits and pieces.
I was in WA a couple of weeks ago and they're screaming for this sort of thing over there for Mulloway.
Because it's just such a cool way to fish. You just feel cooler when you've got a swim bait on. So,
and I don't do much of it. Oh, actually, this is going to be potentially another reso ads that you and I need to do a bit more of this stuff.
I'm into.
Okay.
There's something really cool about them. But
so
Samaki
cool looking lure. Yeah. Yep. Very cool.
Also, mate, that thing's got that many hook points exposed.
I know.
If a fish almost even thinks about swimming past, it's already in the kill bit.
I reckon if I just cast that anywhere, it'll catch 4 fish in one.
It's wild. Best game lure. We've been.
Oh, you've skipped over best. You've skipped over best fly fishing product.
Wait, was that a category? Sorry, I must have gone for a piss at that point.
Yeah. Game fishing lure. Let's do that.
So game lure, runner up, and I really wanted to see this in the flesh, and I didn't. A Fat Boy Cherry Bomb skirt that's 14 inches long.
Jesus Christ!
Listen,
that sounds like it hurts.
That's not something I'm very familiar with, Luke, and far out.
Yeah,
it's a lot of lure.
No, well, I did say that skirts weren't. I didn't realise that. I did not see that one. So there you go. Skirts.
Well, I don't know how you didn't see it because it was probably hanging from the roof as a little bit of a marquee type situation. Yeah. So that was the Fat Boy Cherry Bomb runners up, and the winner, Shimano Ledge Runner, probably as much innovation as you're going to see in a trolling lure.
Yes.
For a long time, where you can actually adjust the diving depth of the lure as per where you rig it through the bib. It's really unique. It's really interesting.
Absolutely.
So that was pretty cool. And probably, what would you say? I guess MVP would be adjacent to the John Dunphy Innovation in Fishing Award. Would that be the MVP? Or you think real still?
I feel like the reels are still the market.
It's the dunk contest, I think. I think John Dunph is MVP and reels are the dunk comp.
The John Dunphy Award for Innovation kind of is the one that I reckon if you asked any wholesaler, I mean, I could ask you, or anyone on the night, that's the one that you'd probably prize the most if you won it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like probably like the Players Association Award, when it's not hugely commercial, but it's the one that means the most within the industry itself.
It's not the Brownlow or the Dally M, but it's the one that the players and coaches vote on.
Yes, correct.
You know what I mean? Hey, that would be an interesting award. Opening up, maybe every wholesaler submits one product and other wholesalers
that's interesting.
Vote on it.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So no one's, it's not.
I wouldn't hate it.
No one's getting offended by it. And then it's just like,
just an acknowledgement of what else is going on.
Yeah,
I don't hate that at all.
Anyway,
but the John Dunphy Award for Innovation, taken out by Shimano, with a new Dialuna that is
very interesting.
It's still a little bit mind-boggling. I'm going to have to play with this. It's a rod. It starts off at one length.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but say it's, for argument's sake, it's 7 foot.
Yeah.
You can untwist the butt section, extend the blank out by a foot, just under, lock it back in, and you've turned your 7 foot into a 7'6", 8 foot land-based casting rod.
It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
And very, very interesting. I think the outside of the product itself, it's a nice touch. Shimano winning the John Dunphy Award. Obviously.
I don't know. I always found it hilarious when Daiwa would win it.
Yeah.
John Dunphy being one of the pioneers of Shimano in Australia.
Yeah. And an innovator, absolute innovator. So yeah. Look, there are, like you said, there are other awards on there. Go and check it out. I don't know why I still don't know why the best outdoor camping product is in there, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Yeti win it every year.
Just more categories.
But it's always a good night, ads, and for most of us, actually no. For a lot of people in the room, not most, probably half, it is the end of what is another AFTA, and a lot of people turn one on, knowing that it's the last night.
Correct.
Other people go, I now need to be a little bit careful because I've got a big day tomorrow. Adam, you were one of those people. Public day. Talk me through it. Talk us through it.
Peek behind the curtain. I would say 99.9% of all of the wholesalers that are still there for the public day, which is all of them,
Yep.
dread it. Yeah. Just being real.
Yep.
There was, word on the street that there was over 13,000 punters that had registered.
Yeah.
Now, whether that many turned up, I don't know.
I'm hearing, because I think the last couple of years it's been half of those that registered sort of showed up, but I'm hearing pushing 8,000 showed up.
Yeah.
That's massive.
And so we got there half an hour early to get in and clean up the stand and get ready.
Yep.
Brock from Wilson was at the front of the line, which was already about 15, 20 metres long.
Right.
And he was whipping the grommets up into a frenzy. There was, at one point, I walked past and saw two of them wrestling on the ground for something. I don't know what he was doing, but he was setting the gnarliest vibe.
Yeah.
There was kids yelling. They were chanting stuff. They were beating the piss out of each other.
Wow.
It was nuts.
What
and
a
this is
time.
this is before it even started.
It's before breakfast.
Yeah, before it started. Anyway, where the Rapala stand was situated, which is where I spent all of my time for the 3 days,
Yep.
there was basically a long runway from right through the middle of the Rapala stand, which then backed on directly and ran right through the middle of the Molossi stand.
Mm-hmm.
Directly, and you would run headfirst into the Daiwa stand.
Right.
In the, I don't know how long I've been going to AFTA, maybe 15 years, maybe. I have never seen a stand as visually incredible as what the Daiwa stand was. It was something else.
Yeah.
Something else. It was like it was taken directly out of, say, what I would expect to see at the Osaka trade show. It was incredible.
So I said exactly the same thing, having been there earlier this year, and that is exactly where the design of that stand came from. And I said, absolute tip of the cap, you've fucking nailed it. It was
insane. It was insane.
Yep. Agreed.
So that's where I saw what proceedings take place. So again, to quickly recap before they open the doors, there is a runway in the middle of the Rapala stand. So you've got Rapala on one side, you've got Crush City and Akuma on the other side, which is all under the Rapala brand. You run straight into the Molossi stand, which is split into two parts as well. We share the same runway. And then you are in the Daiwa stand right at the end. They opened the doors. Immediately, there is an announcement saying, don't run. and in unison, I'm sure I heard the echo of 3,000 kids basically saying, fuck that.
Yeah.
It was like watching a live reenactment of The Walking Dead.
Oh.
There was kids fucking running from everywhere. Now, they went around, so we didn't see them. We just started to see people filtering around. So they would have got to an intersection and caught a glimpse of Shimano and Daiwa. Now, from what I could understand, there was probably a little bit of a 50-50 split. Shimano had an e-bike on their stand that had a fish tank in it
Yeah.
There was a goldfish swimming around in the middle of an e-bike that they were giving away on the day. Anyway, it was fucking chaos.
Mm.
And as what normally happens with these shows, the grommets come in first. They go straight to Daiwa and or Shimano. They'll do that. They'll generally then come to Molossi.
Yep.
Then they will spread out and they'll go and have a look what's going on. And everyone gets a little piece of the pie.
Yep.
We were giving out inflatable Rapala lures.
Nice.
Don't
ever stop that, by the way. They're so iconic.
And it's awesome watching kids run around smacking the piss out of each other.
That's exactly what they do.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what it's designed for.
Yeah.
There's caps being given out by other suppliers. There's fishing tackle being given out. I think there was soft plastics being given away by Froglies. The vibe was insane. The kids were having a ball and it was chaos.
Mm.
So we got through the first initial craziness. Everything, there was a little bit of a lull. And then it happened.
Oh, shit. What?
Somehow, around the whole venue, all of the kids between 10 and 15 got word that Brooksy and Briggsy were on the Molossi stand and they were giving shit away. Dude. And it was like an underage mosh pit. There was it's like nothing I've ever seen. There was kids on top of kids screaming, Brooksy! Brooksy!
Full rockstar shit.
There was kids crying. There was kids
Really?
calling there was kids calling each other because they were knocking each other over.
Yeah.
Our stand, the Rapala stand, was full, chock-a-block full of people trying to get to Brooksy and Briggsy. So we did what any respectable person would do, took heaps of photos going, fuck, Rapala stand's pumping.
Yeah.
And they had to pull the pin early on what... So Molossi, from what I understand, and I don't know this firsthand, it's just like rumour of what was going on. And next time I talk to John, I'm going to ask him. They actually stopped it short because kids were that full on. They were pushing on the walls of the stands.
Oh, shit.
And they ain't the sturdiest walls of all time.
No.
Luke, I have never, ever seen anything like this
Far out.
in fishing. And it got me thinking about some stuff. And I want to give you a couple of quick examples and I want to throw over to you.
Yeah.
Do we do a good enough job in this industry of promoting our flat-out superstars? Because what I saw from Briggsy and Brooksy and Paul Worsling, caught up with him for a bit. He was on and off the stand and literally he could not take two steps without someone grabbing him and either asking for a photo or an autograph or just a general, Paul, I've loved your stuff forever, mate.
Yeah.
Listen, age demographic between both parties, probably a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I want to put Paul into this category too because, again, he couldn't take more than two steps without being stopped by someone.
Yeah.
Do we do
And that hasn't changed for 20 years.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. Like I said, the only thing that's changed for Paul is the age demographic because they've all grown up with him.
Yep.
Do we do a good enough job of putting these rock stars of fishing on a pedestal where everybody knows who they are? Because, mate, I have not seen a response to two young fishers like what I saw of Briggsy and Brooksy. Mate, I have not seen that in fishing ever. And I think it's an incredible thing for fishing. I think it's an incredible thing for the industry because, listen, these guys promote product. They promote fishing. They promote getting outside and healthy lifestyles, and they do it all through YouTube and bits and pieces. Man, I think these guys need to be the poster guys of fishing, and there's heaps more out there that are up and coming. I just don't know if we take them serious enough in the early stages
Yeah.
to help boost them.
I think the biggest thing there is that people with that's proper influence, like when you talk about influencers.
Yeah.
People like that, I don't think that we've seen that before, to that level of influence or, stardom, maybe. I know it sounds extreme, but I think the biggest thing for me, the biggest takeout, and you mentioned it then, is ultimately the best thing about these guys, regardless of, size of audience, is they're promoting fishing. And that's all that we need. You know what I mean?
Mate, these kids were losing their minds.
We're in an era that teenage fishing's cool again for teenagers. That disappeared for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a long time.
Definitely.
It's back, which is so good. It's great for the industry. It's great for people. It's fishing, for fuck's sake. It's the best. It's so healthy and whatever. We all know the benefits of it. If it means investing into more of these people, absolutely. It's a no-brainer. I think there's, you mentioned Paul, I think Jet Worsling's the next one that we go all in on. The guy's a great kid, an unbelievable angler.
And obsessed with fishing tackle.
Obsessed with fishing tackle. Could tell you anything. He was telling us all about it when he was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
and I don't need me to get him at that level. He'll get there because that's where he's going anyway. And he's already got a massive following.
Yeah.
But my point is, where I was going was, we haven't seen anything like this. And Briggs and Brooksy have done it really, really well. I don't know if it's just a case of, they also do it well, right? So I don't know whether it's a case of just whoever is starting to get a few followers on YouTube, let's go all in on them and they'll turn into that. They've got something, these two guys in particular, Briggsy, Brooksy, that have just kids are just drawn to them.
They are, but my point is, I feel as though the industry is still trying to reap the benefits of them, not find those people to make the faces of fishing. And it's,
so get on the front
so
foot.
Hard.
Get on the front foot and push when there's someone like that or there's potential. Push it. Literally push them. Like whoever's looking after them, whether it's the Shimano's of the world or Daiwas of the world, and listen, they might need to appear on multiple stands, whether they've got rod and reel sponsors, and then they might have lure sponsors. And I don't know why they're not heroed for everything, because just watching how insane these kids went, that's the next generation of coming through, and it might naturally get there because these kids are going to grow up in the age of YouTube, and there'll be someone in that.
They're going to have drive to do this before they even start, and it's like everything. You wade through a few that don't get there to pick a 1% that go all right, and they've got to have everything. They've got to have the skill, they've got to have the drive, they've got to have the charisma, they've got to have all of that stuff, which these guys clearly do.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you're right. That's an interesting take. There's probably 3,000 or 4,000 kids there, and one of them could be that next one we're looking for. You know what I mean? Because they'll also get inspired to create content, and it's never been easy to create content.
Yeah, and that's why I think there's a space and a room for these guys. Maybe not to that level, but talk competition fishing. Have some characters of the competitions that these kids can aspire to be like, and
like in the States. So they're
and listen, it'll never be like that. And I'm not talking about money earned through competitions. Obviously, that's important because that's how you promote those things. But just finding these anglers that ooze personality and charisma, and grabbing them and going, okay, well, this is how we're going to push fishing to the masses and keep fishing tackle just piling ahead and ahead and ahead. It's not about free shit. It's not about this. It's about grabbing these personalities that are appealing to these kids and adults. Like, I still look at some of these guys. Like, I look at Briggsy and Brooksy and go, holy shit. Like, the heights of influence at which these people have curated for themselves. They haven't curated it through a partnership with a fishing tackle brand. They've solely done it off their own bat and YouTube.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is something else, man. We need so much more of this, because it was unbelievable seeing these kids pile on top of each other.
Pretty cool.
Just to get something that Briggsy or Brooksy had thrown at them for nothing. Like, wild stuff. Wild.
It's pretty cool, hey?
Wild.
And it's good. Let's embrace it. I think it's great. The future's interesting in that space, and I don't know what it's going to look like, but there's no reason it couldn't be this cool for a lot longer. So, and it'll have variations of, it'll have.
Of course, it will.
Versions.
Because we'll start getting into an era where, the villains will drive as much as the.
And
the
you might be
heroes.
right. Like, the tournament thing could pop off at some stage. It won't necessarily be to that level of that US bass market, but when you're at like ICAST and that, those anyone that's getting around in a tournament jersey is getting he's just signing autographs left, right, and centre.
And just having some of those guys at the top that have got the personality and the will, again, them being picked up by some of these wholesalers and actually pushed to the forefront of what these companies have got to offer in the range of product and influence and all this sort of stuff. It's really cool.
Did I tell you about the time at ICAST where I sort of asked someone to move out of my way because I was looking at a product, and then that particular wholesaler said, that's one of America's best bass anglers, and he was a proper full celebrity. I'm like, excuse me, mate.
Smooth, mate. You're blocking the lures, bro.
Like, I've got no fucking idea who he is. Sorry, champion. Carl's there.
Yeah,
Do you reckon Carl would get much of a sort of a buzz if he appeared at AFTA? Not really. Definitely have a few people around for sure, but not like.
I don't think in the that mid-range demographic, definitely.
Yep.
Mate, I'd love to go and shake his hand and go, just tell me some stuff.
Not going to have screaming kids though.
No.
But maybe the tournament. We've got someone coming on the show pretty soon that we can prop this to. Eh? Yeah. Anyway, that's enough of a tease for that, but watch this space. Yeah, right. Well, you survived. I'm glad you survived the public day. There would have been a few sore heads, no doubt. So the screaming kids would have been perfect for a headache and a hangover. I mean that was kind of fitting way to wrap up the whole event with a big crescendo, like just screaming fans for the likes of Briggsy and Brooksy, and it's a pretty exciting time. I just love how much. I wonder how many of these kids have got into fishing because of it, and to that alone, I say, well played.
I dare say a large percentage of them are taking it as seriously as they ever have because they're watching the likes of those guys doing really cool stuff.
So good, isn't it? Brilliant. Well, there is AFTA 2026 in a bit of a nutshell. Hopefully, you got something out of that. There is a lot to unpack when you walk away from a show like that. Hey, Ads.
Yeah, there is. I'm still trying to unpack the last 3 days in my mind. It was awesome to see. I've got some ideas for you, Luke, that I think we need to unpack on this show at a later date.
Write it down.
A little bit of product development stuff.
Ooh,
I have.
Okay, write it down.
Yeah, I've got some ideas.
Let us know what your thoughts are. If you saw something on the socials that you want us to unpack a bit more, we can probably find out a bit more about that and dive into it. But yeah, overall, prawns for days, soft plastics are going crazy, rods and reels are sweet, game fishing a bit quiet, squid fishing a bit quiet, but the AFTA Awards did their thing and the public day went fucking berserk from all this.
Absolutely batshit crazy. But jump on over to afta.net.au to have a look at the full list of winners from every product, including fly fishing. They've left it on there. We lobbied to have it removed. They didn't want to listen. So that's on there.
For the 4th year running, we had the stubby holder and cap combo removed, which I think is unfair. I mean, it's out of stock now, but it still should be recognised.
Yeah, that's right. It's the best combo ever to live. It should be if named after that combo.
Combo award should be named the Deep Drop Combo Award. That's not bad. Let's rally for that. Let's try and get that up next year.
The next cause that we fight for. But no, it was unreal. It was great to catch up with a heap of people throughout the industry. And
absolutely.
We had some fun, Luke.
Good times indeed. Thanks, everyone. We'll chat to you real soon. See you, ads.
Peace.